continue to trail the conduct of the Department of State Services at the Federal High Court in Lagos yesterday during the court appeal. Be remanded at the Nigerian Correctional Service. What exactly is preventing the release of the suspended governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria by the Department of State Services? This despite 3 courts in the country ordering his release on bail. And right here in Abia State, the governor of the state, Dr. Alex Oti, has raised an alarm that his predecessor, Keze Pazu, was under to stop the judicial panel on the recovery of government properties and funds. Very good morning to you. Welcome to Open Parliament, live on the frequency. My name is Mr. C. Here we bring you the biggest stories buzzing beyond. I got a guest this morning, a usual but very distinguished guest. I'm talking about the recipient of ZIX Award on Innovation and Creativity, a fellow of Ethical Leadership from Argonne, a fellow of Chartered Institute of Forensic and Fraud Investigators of Nigeria, Interpol Systems Consultant and Security Expert, Sir Chikwe Udensi. We've got him virtual this morning. Good morning, sir. Welcome to Open Parliament.
Good morning, Mr. C. Thanks for having me. Good morning, our teaming listeners.
Well, quite a number of issues to dissect this morning from the national and down the state. But not without you having an eventful past couple of days, because we understand that you did host a section of the Nigerian business community in your Abuja residence, and not just that, you did host as well the daughter of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, in the person of Folashade Tinubu. Can you tell us about those? Let's start from there.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's not just Nigerian businessmen that I hosted, Mr. C. There are European being led by a retired colonel from Belgian Army, Dr. of the Nigerian-Belgian European investors who came to Nigeria. The interesting thing, Mr. C, is that they were coming to Nigeria to look for opportunities for their products abroad, and also to find ways to also invest in production in Nigeria. Mr. C, I was very impressed with the line of products they have coming into the country, and also the fact that they are being encouraged by their countries in Europe. We have the European Union having its headquarters in Brussels. We are spearheading the move to not just to Nigeria, also in other areas of Africa. But more importantly, with the enormous power, financial power, and the numerical strength we have in Nigeria, they were very interested, first of all, in coming to Nigeria. So I visited them. I also realized, Mr. C, that in the course of introduction, I realized that they were having also what they call commercial attaches in the embassies. They were introducing people who are commercial attaches in these foreign embassies in Nigeria. So I did realize also in course of my investigation, because I engaged a few of the commercial attaches to find out their role at the embassies here in Nigeria. And essentially, it is very interesting that European countries in Nigeria have a commercial department at their embassies here. And what they did is that they procured professionals, businessmen, who essentially are interested in ensuring that products that are manufactured in European countries are sold outside Europe. So what the commercial department does is to create the enablers, create the genuine partnership. It fact, they are very concerned about genuine investors. According to them, what is popularly known as 419, they have damaged our name around the world. There are very beautiful conditions of working relationship to encourage the sale of their products abroad. And I was also interested to find out that these businessmen are in some areas of specialty. You know how foreigners, especially advanced countries, how they specialize, how they are interested in specialization. And then we saw the medical doctors talking about medical products. Pharmacists were talking about pharmaceutical products. The soldier was interested, Mr. Dominic, who led them, who was interested in the wound care products, wound care specialist products. He was a soldier. Again, Mr. Singh, in the course of discussion, I realized that we have a big problem in this country. The problem of kidney diseases. Kidney failure and kidney diseases have been a major problem. I did not realize the magnitude until they opened it up to us with the medical center we have here. Kidney center is called Zenith Medical and Kidney Center. That is what they identified, and they decided to make sure that they have enough dialysis equipment and also specialists that will come and do lots of kidney transplants in our country. You can see they were also providing, I was impressed and surprised, they provided all kinds of services to make sure that if they want to visit their country, that there's an ease of doing that. Mr. C, when they told me they were going to come to my house to do the interview and issue me the visa in my own house, I was surprised, but very impressed. They are determined to make sure they have genuine businessmen. After the usual procedure is to go and stand somewhere and wait for your turn. You go and do interview and do biometrics. Then they will give you several weeks or months before they give you a visa. But that is not what they came for. When they came to me, they said, listen, you are not coming to the embassy. You're not coming to the centers where they issue, they do screening for visa. They are coming to my own house to issue me multiple visa to be able to come to Europe. So they didn't just do it to me alone. They are doing it to every identified genuine businessman to encourage them to work closely, especially for the promotion of their own products. I was very, very impressed with that. And they have lots and lots of products that will benefit our country.
Awesome.
But I think, to the contrary, when I called one of our ambassadors, very good friend of mine, Ambassador B, he's in Europe, in Sweden. I called Ambassador B. I said, look at what is happening here. What are we doing? What are Nigerian embassies abroad doing to ensure that we have some good business specialship, at least help our businessmen and manufacturers in Nigeria? The response I got, Mr. C, I felt very, very bad. I felt very, very bad. In fact, the ambassador told me there's not even enough money to run the embassy. Talk about any program or project. In fact, whatever they are doing there, they are doing there from their own extra efforts that the Nigerian government does not care about how much our businessmen, genuine businessmen, benefit. They don't even provide any succor to the embassy. They do not provide any facilities that are required for Nigerian businesses to strive. It is very, very disturbing, Mr. Singh. Actually, yes, again, I also hosted the daughter of the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the Aloja. Aloja means the head of the market women. Yeah. She is the head of the market women in Nigeria. I had the privilege to host her. She had identified some some of the efforts we have made in the area, very modest effort we have made in the area of charity works. And I was also surprised she knew that my wife is the president of Rotary International. In fact, my wife, during her tenure as the president of Rotary International downtown Abuja, she was made the change maker president. That's what she was. She identified that and identified also the numerous jobs she did. I was surprised also that she was very abreast of the little and modest relates to the welfare of pensioners as effort, the project we did in Aba and a few others. Mr. C, myself, I wish I had more money. Mr. C, I would have done a lot. What I have done so far is out of little resources I have in Abia State. It does not. How else will I contribute? Mr. C, whenever I see privileged people like that, people whose parents or maybe they have the desire to contribute to the welfare of the greater society. As I discussed, and she reminded me of the good jobs done in America by Rosalynn Carter, Jim and Rosalynn Carter. Jim Carter was the president. Even before he became the president, they were very much interested. And Jackie Kennedy. Jackie Kennedy did a number of work. She was the first lady. She did so much work for charity. Even Michelle Obama, own lovely first lady, the first black woman to be the first lady in America, she did enormous work in charity. But if you compare that to the very horrible work being done by the likes of Imelda Marcos, who was interested in having, we were told, 10,000 pairs of shoes. She was interested in having gold chains. That is what most of our African leaders and their families are involved in. They are involved in some ostentation, some exuberance. But let me also isolate and mention the good work of the late wife of the former president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Ibrahim Babangida. Miriam did a enormous job in the area of charity. It was, in fact, she was the first person to initiate a program she called Better Life for Rural Women, a program that went down into all the nooks and crannies, all the nooks and corners of our society, making sure that rural women did very well in the area of charity. I encourage those who are privileged to please make sure that their family, whatever privileged position they have them by themselves, their family should encourage the work of charity. Because I wouldn't fail to tell you how excited I was when during the birthday of my son, I had asked him how he intended to celebrate his birthday, and he told me that he was going to do that in resources. I did not know he was making some savings for himself for his birthday, and those savings he made, he used it to visit where needs are. In fact, he concentrated mostly birthday.
Interesting.
People who are privileged positions to make sure that they reach out to those who are less privileged. And I'm very impressed with the daughter of the president who help the poor people, especially in the rural areas. Her own design for charity work, he wants to reach out in the rural areas, and she wanted to explore our experience in that area. None of how I hosted them. It was a very interesting week.
Yeah.
And
yes. Obviously, very, very interesting with regards to that side. But more interesting is the talk about your son and his move to the path of his father in terms of charity. Talking about charity, your wife, Mrs. Mary Udensi, who happens to be the vice president of the Build a New Abia Foundation, would be celebrating her birthday tomorrow. And she's been a powerhouse behind your foundation.
to her happy birthday in advance. Yes, her birthday is coming tomorrow. But like you know, she is so much interested in the work of charity. I told you she was the president, the change maker president of Rotary, and known that it will certainly be for charity. I'll find out the extent of charity work she intends to do, and like you know, she has been very supportive in my charity work. Is the backbone, in fact, if you ask me, is the backbone for the most of the charity work we have done. And I wish her a very happy birthday for tomorrow and her good works for charity.
Fantastic. Well, in case you just tuned in, Open Parliament is the program reaching in live on the frequency. A guest Interpol Systems consultant, Chikwe Udensi. Well, let's get national now. Let's talk about the condemnation that has continued to thrill the conduct of the Department of State Services at the Federal High Court in Lagos yesterday during the court appearance of the suspended governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele. Well, in case you're not aware, the DSS took Emefiele before the court for arraignment on Tuesday, but rearrested and whisked him away despite that the court granted him bail and ordered that he should be remanded at the Ikoyi facility of the Nigerian Correctional Service. This not the first time on bail, but this has not been carried out by the DSS. What could be the reasons, sir?
Before he was suspended, we heard about lots of very disturbing things from the DSS. We heard about his support, his financing, his reactive terrorist fighters, and he's a major funder for us in the area of security. We were eager to have details of this information. We couldn't get much of this information from the DSS. Immediately after, and he was kept for several weeks. I was shocked to find out, Mr. C, that it took the court's processes. Mr. C, we are talking about law enforcement. If we have a law enforcement agency, their first and foremost job is to maintain and respect the rule of law of our country. They have to maintain the rule of law of the country. When he was forced, the DSS leaders were forced to take Emefiele to court. So when Emefiele was taken to court, most of us were interested to find out what those charges were. Let us see how Emefiele was found funding terrorism. Let us see how Emefiele was financing terrorist groups. In fact, let us see how he was working very closely with active terrorist fighters in the country and using the national treasury to fund terrorism. We were interested. We wanted to find out. Mr. C, what did we find out? What are the charges against Emefiele by DSS? We were absolutely disappointed, extremely disappointed, that the charges we saw against Emefiele was that he has in his possession illegal double-barrel gun. Excuse me, Mr. C. Excuse me. Where are those charges of terrorism against Emefiele? Where are those insinuations that Emefiele is sponsoring terrorism? The charge we saw in court is that he is in possession of an illegal double-barrel, a rusty double-barrel gun. How can that be a charge against Emefiele? How can that be a charge for which the country is looking forward to see how he has been supporting and funding terrorists? Mr. C, to say the least, most of us feel extremely heartbroken. Our hearts are bleeding that this is what we are finding and this is what is happening in our law enforcement agencies in the country. Mr. C, the other disturbing one which you mentioned is what happened in court when he was eventually taken before a court of competent jurisdiction, Federal High Court in Abuja. In Lagos.
In Lagos.
In Lagos. Mr. C, He was arraigned for being in position for violating the Firearms Act of 1958 of Nigeria. And he was arraigned and charged for it. That was the only charge we saw. The judge, in his discharge of his duty, decided to grant him bail because he believed in the offense. And he was granted bail in the tune of 20 million naira. Granted bail. There are some conditions of the bail. Before he meets the terms and conditions of his bail, the judge will determine where he should be kept. Instead, he decided that Emefiele